Hello everyone, welcome to History and Culture. In the fourth year of the Jiaqing era of the Qing Dynasty, when the residence of Heshen on the western shore of Shanghai in Beijing was raided, an extremely rare treasure was discovered. This treasure was not an ordinary object but a household protection treasure, the Fu character stele, which was surprisingly written by Emperor Kangxi himself. Heshen, a once powerful and influential minister. How did he manage to acquire this historically significant Fu character stele? Even more curious is that this Fu character stele was eventually preserved intact in the Gongwang mansion. How did it manage to survive the fluctuations of time and power, remaining undisturbed to this day? Let us delve into this history and explore the mystery behind it. According to relevant historians, the mysterious origin of the Fu character stele can be traced back to Emperor Kangxi's deep affection for his grandmother, Empress Dowager Xiaozhuang. In the 12th year of Kangxi's reign, 1673, Empress Dowager Xiaozhuang was about to celebrate her 60th birthday but fell seriously ill. The imperial physicians were at a loss, and the entire palace was filled with anxiety. At this critical moment, Emperor Kangxi heard an ancient legend, Qing, which said that the emperor could pray to his heavenly father for longevity and ask for blessings for his grandmother's health. So, Kangxi decided to personally seek blessings for her longevity. After 3 days of fasting and bathing in preparation, Kangxi, with sincerity, wrote a character for Fu, fortune. This was not merely a simple blessing but a reflection of his deep love for his grandmother. He also stamped it with the seal, Kangxi Imperial handwriting treasure, symbolizing auspicious fortune, good luck, and the suppression of all evil. This character became both an expression of the emperor's wish and a token of his hope for his grandmother's longevity. After receiving this Fu character, Empress Dowager Xiaozhuang miraculously recovered, and all her ailments disappeared. She lived to the age of 75 before peacefully passing away 15 years later. To commemorate this miraculous recovery attributed to the Fu character, Empress Dowager Xiaozhuang instructed artisans to carve this character onto a stone stele, making it a precious royal artifact. It was commonly believed that this was the result of Kangxi personally seeking blessings for his grandmother's longevity. Since Kangxi rarely wrote, it was said that a single character by Kangxi is worth a fortune, and thus the Fu character was hailed as the world's first Fu. However, the fate of this Fu character stele took a dramatic turn as history unfolded. From being a royal treasure, it mysteriously disappeared during the reign of Emperor Qianlong. Some rumors suggest that Emperor Qianlong gifted it to his favorite minister Heshen as a household protection treasure, helping Heshen prosper in both politics and wealth. Heshen concealed this Fu character stele in his residence, and it was said to help him accumulate wealth and protect his home, making him so rich that he became comparable to a state in his own right. There is another version of the story, claiming that Emperor Qianlong gave the Fu character stele as a dowry to Princess Zheng He, but it was later seized by Heshen. Regardless of the version, the connection between the Fu character stele and Heshen remains shrouded in mystery, becoming one of Heshen's unspeakable secrets and symbolizing a complex chapter in the power struggles of the time. When talking about Heshen, it is widely known that he was a man who had a peak life. Historically, Heshen was not only handsome but also exceptionally talented, regarded as a man of many skills. He was proficient in multiple languages, including Manchu, Chinese, Mongolian, and Tibetan, and could even read classical texts such as the 4 books and 5 classics, showcasing his broad talent. However, Heshen's success was not by chance. His origins were not as humble as people might imagine. In fact, he came from a prominent Manchu 8 banners family whose ancestors had achieved great military feats. In the feudal society of the Qing dynasty, family background was of paramount importance, and Heshen, with his influential family, married the granddaughter of Governor Feng Yinglian from Zhili, Feng Jiwen. This marriage demonstrated the power and glory of his family. With such a powerful family background, Heshen's career path was exceptionally smooth. At the age of 20, he inherited his father's position as a third-class light cavalry officer, officially stepping into the imperial bureaucracy. With his extraordinary intelligence and hard work, Heshen gradually rose from a lowly palace guard to become a favored minister in front of Emperor Qianlong, wielding tremendous power. Heshen's family not only thrived in the government but also flourished in business. They operated numerous pawnshops, established many silver businesses, and ventured into various trades, amassing great wealth. This vast fortune made Heshen's family an influential force, even leaving a lasting impact on the entire commercial world. Heshen's residence was located on the western shore of Shanghai in Beijing, covering an area of 60,000 square meters, making it one of the largest private estates in the capital. Within the estate, he built luxurious palaces and gardens, and outside, he created a massive dragon sculpture made of Taihu stones. This dragon was positioned perfectly along Beijing's Dragon Vein, as if in harmony with the Dragon Vein of the Forbidden City. Heshen also hid the famous Fu character stele inside the dragon's lair, dedicating it to a place he called the Cave of Blessed Land. From then on, his political career flourished, and wealth poured in like a tidal wave. There are even rumors that he once became richer than a country. However, Heshen's Dragon Vein actions were not solely for his own prosperity but were also closely tied to his ambitions in the power struggles. As a close confidant of Emperor Qianlong, Heshen had control over critical areas such as the imperial finances, military, and foreign affairs, wielding significant influence over the emperor. Using his power, Heshen formed a massive political force by bribing officials, forming factions, and eliminating rivals. As Emperor Qianlong entered his later years, the political situation began to change significantly. Due to his declining health, especially his deteriorating hearing, Qianlong's speech started to become unclear. At this crucial moment, Heshen seized the opportunity, gradually becoming the messenger of court affairs and even gaining real power, becoming known as the Second Emperor. During this time, Heshen nearly controlled the entire court, reaching the peak of his power. What's more, Heshen had already filled Qianlong's inner circle with his own spies, including eunuchs and female officials. Emperor Qianlong's freedom began to be increasingly restricted, and the environment around him became more complex and perilous. Like a cage of power struggles, making it difficult for him to extricate himself. On the other hand, although Jiaqing eventually became emperor, before Qianlong's death, the old emperor, as the retired emperor, still held substantial power, and Jiaqing had no choice but to submit to Qianlong's authority. Jiaqing's period of endurance lasted for many years, during which Heshen's power continued to expand. In front of Qianlong, Heshen became increasingly reckless, no longer concerned about his behavior in the court, and even openly displayed his arrogance. However, this expansion of power ultimately led to a fatal crisis for Heshen. In the fourth year of Jiaqing's reign, 1799, Emperor Qianlong passed away, and the Qing dynasty fell into intense power struggles. On the 15th day of the first month of Jiaqing's fourth year, Emperor Jiaqing announced 20 major crimes committed by Heshen and ordered his house to be raided, marking the end of Heshen's political career. The raid on Heshen's property reportedly shocked the entire Qing court. The results were astounding. 1.8 billion taels of silver were uncovered, equivalent to the total tax revenue of the Qing government for 15 years. This vast fortune not only revealed Heshen's extreme greed but also intensified public anger and dissatisfaction with him. A popular saying, "When Heshen falls, Jiaqing eats his fill," reflected the widespread resentment towards Heshen's corrupt behavior. This property confiscation became one of the largest asset recovery operations in Qing history, thoroughly exposing Heshen's corruption. Soon, Emperor Jiaqing ordered that Heshen be subjected to the Lingqi punishment. A decision that sparked intense discussion within and outside the court. However, some ministers advocated for a less severe death for Heshen, arguing that he had once been an important court official and should be executed, but without excessive cruelty. In the end, Jiaqing decided that Heshen should die by hanging himself with a white silk cord in his own home. According to some historians, Heshen's sudden fall from a once powerful minister to a death row prisoner seemed like severe punishment from the Qing dynasty. But it also revealed his isolation within the palace. Once he lost the protection of Emperor Qianlong, the pillar that held him up collapsed. And there was no doubt that Heshen's downfall was inevitable. As for the Fu character stele, Emperor Jiaqing initially planned to bring the stele back to the palace. However, fearing that moving it might disturb the dragon vein and affect his own fortune, he ordered that the stele be sealed with large stones, preventing outsiders from seeing it. Thus, the stele was buried for nearly a century, until it was accidentally discovered during restoration work at Gongwang Mansion in 1962. The story of the Fu character stele not only reflects the struggles and greed between the Qing royal family and powerful ministers but also reveals the pursuit and worship of good fortune in traditional Chinese culture. It is not just a part of history but also an invaluable artifact with great artistic significance. This is the History and Culture channel. Liking and subscribing are the greatest help and support to us. Thank you everyone and see you in the next time.